Okay, let's wait for 2 more minutes, then I think we can start. Yep. All right. I think we can start now. Welcome everyone. Welcome to Work from Home Pythonista. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are your hosts. I'm Zorex,
I'm Carl.
and we are both members of Python Philippines.
Right. So I guess before we start, let me just talk more about of what work from home Pythonista is all about. So work from home Pythonista is a monthly webinar talk show series where we interview different Pythonistas representing various roles and industries to give people in community an insight of what their typical workday looks like. We also showcase throughout work from home Pythonista how Pythonistas think outside the box while being inside the comforts of their own homes or digital nomad setup. We also like it to call it as Pythonistas and their craft at home and beyond. The usual format of our event is that there will be a virtual tour of the speaker's work area at home and tools for at least 5 to 10 minutes, and then a small talk show at the end where we have a small Q&A and interact with the audience to answer their specific questions about our guest speaker.
Yep. Before we start, we'd like to thank our sponsor Codev for making this show possible. Codev is a silver sponsor for Work from Home Pythonista from September to November 2002. Their sponsorship allows PythonPH as a nonprofit to continue to support and facilitate the growth of the community of Python programmers in the Philippines. Codev Philippines is a company that focuses on recruiting highly skilled professionals for tech companies in the US and offering supporting solutions that create highly integrated and efficient teams.
Cool. With that out of the way, let me introduce to you who our speaker for today's episode of Work from Home Pythonista. So our guest for today is Mr. Dean Armada. Dean holds over 60 IT certifications and delivered over 60 official course titles in Cisco, F5, Arista, Dell EMC in over 30 countries. He also delivers open source technologies such as Python, Docker, Kubernetes, and cybersecurity. He is also the founder of Armada Innovation Labs, a cybersecurity company that focuses on web application penetration testing, and bounty program enabling. He is the host of an IT YouTube channel also as well, which is called Styx Show, not another boring IT channel.
Yeah, so without further ado, let's welcome Dean. Hi, Dean. Uh,
Hi guys, how are you?
I'm all good. How about you?
Yeah, everything is all right.
Thank you for joining us, Dean, with this episode. So, yeah,
Yeah, how many are the participants today?
um,
Right now, yeah, go ahead, Carl.
yeah, I guess as of the moment, checking the Zoom, I guess we have 9 participants in the Zoom link. How about in the YouTube Sorex?
Yeah, we have 4 unique commenters in the YouTube live. Yeah.
All right, good. All right, hi everyone.
All right. Yeah. So I guess with that in mind, I guess can you show us a bit of your work from home setup in your home, Dean? Would you
All
like to share
right,
about that a bit?
yeah. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use my phone, and let's see if you will see my.
Yep.
Oh, that's me. All right. Do you see my desk?
Yes. Yep.
Yep.
Right. I'm gonna move away so that you will see a better view. Do you see my setup?
Yep.
So yeah, so I have many monitors. I have gaming key lights because it saves space. So this is my gaming PC, although I don't play games at all. So this is what you see on the front view of my camera. But my desk is an L-type shape. So on the sides you have the books, you have this chess LED design, you have a tablet. Yeah, drawing tablet. It's turned off for now. It's having issues. And this is my screen, my main screen. It's 34 inches, right? Forgot. And this is my small screen. I have lights on my face so I will look better. This is the teleprompter, so I can have a código whenever I speak. Speakers, this is my living room. What else? So this is the background. This is what you see when I talk, the background side. So you have network devices. So we have routers, switches, IP phone, wireless LAN controller, and here are the shelves. You also have books, right? We have fairy lights. We also have another IP phone, certificates, more books. I have Nook. We have an access point as well. For those who are not familiar with Nook, Intel Nook, like this one or this one, Intel Nook is a mini PC but can act as a server, especially way back before around 2015. Nook already have this 32 memory, okay, and most laptops doesn't have. Even laptops now 32 memory. Okay, so I carry this Nook anywhere, so I can simulate things, firewalls, network devices, virtual environment. So that is the background, and I have more books on this table, more books, and a lot. Okay, but yeah, this is my home setup. So going back to my shelf, not shelf, my table. I also have Microsoft Surface if I want to do more whiteboard drawings. Okay, so this is like network topology. Yeah, so on the sides, it's a wall with certificates. Yeah, So that's my shelf and my background. That's my work area. Any questions, guys, about my
Yes.
work area?
Someone said from the Zoom chat that looks like you're a hardcore gamer plus security setup, and also now that I can see it, I think it also looks like a very good studio for recording stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna disable now my video here. Okay, so first off, I'm not a hardcore gamer. No, I'm not a hardcore gamer. Before, way back in the 90s, the I don't know if you're too young back then. So there was arcade games, and then you'll see a lot of fighting. Was that fighting video category or genre? Like the Street Fighter, Tekken, Mortal Kombat, King of Fighters. That time I used to play a lot, but not anymore. So I have a gaming setup. Yeah, it looks like gaming, right? So the PC, the rig, the key lights is all gaming, but I don't really play games. I play games occasionally using my joystick. Hold on. I don't. Yeah. So I still have a joystick. Yeah.
Ooh.
But that's very rare. Yeah, the reason why I do a lot of security because my business is cybersecurity. As simple as that. Yeah, I have a cybersecurity business and we do a lot of things, penetration testing, and on the defensive side, we focus on web application firewall. We also do next generation firewall, identity management, and many more. Good?
Yep. Also, someone from the YouTube comment, I think who is well, he's from PythonPH as well. That really likes to play Python games. I think he can really relate to you with the joystick. I think he is also bringing his joystick every time we do meetups. Yeah, so
Really? Okay.
nice stick.
Oh, I don't play that much anymore. You will probably beat me. But back in the 90s and 2000, yeah, I play a lot. It's getting complicated anyway. Like the new Street Fighter 6, right? Street Fighter 5. I don't know. Or the King of Fighters, what was that? 17, 18? Yeah, it's very complicated now. The combos are even more difficult. And this is the type of games that is still for old people or more mature. The younger generations can play fighting games, or the crowd. You won't see a younger crowd in a fighting games tournament.
That's
Maybe
true.
few, but very rare. So unlike the RPGs, what else? Dota, ML, those are younger generations, right? Or any games that is related to Web3. Those are for younger generations. But again, if you're talking about fighting games, Tekken, King of Fighters, Street Fighters, most of the professional gamers are old. Anyway, any questions about my setup, guys?
Yeah, I guess for me, I actually have a small question about your work from home setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, may I ask as well? Like, I think I saw. Can you distinguish from us? So I think before this, you gave us like a good demo of like where the parts of your different work from and how big your work from setup is. Can you give us, I guess, more detail again of what are the specific tools and work from home items that you have in relation to your cybersecurity setup? So I think I saw like a bunch of like routers or modems at the side earlier.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah.
For the cybersecurity setup, we've specialized in next generation firewalls to be specific, because there are many firewalls, right? So next generation firewalls, where we detect malware, application-based attacks, or network-based attacks as well. But what we're really, really good at, and we're proud of this because not too many companies are
specializing with a specific appliance or security appliance is WAF, Web Application Firewall. Okay, it's very complicated to the fact that you have to learn many things. Not only the network side, not only the Linux side of it, but also the web technology side of it. Okay, so you're not protecting from malware. You're not protecting it from network attacks. You're protecting it on specific web attacks. Or should I say specifically on web attacks. That is on the hardware side or the defensive side. So you saw the networks, right? You saw routers, switches, wireless LAN controller. I would say more on networking, less on cybersecurity. You can enable security features on those appliances, but it's just an add-on. We don't specialize on those. Okay, we're knowledgeable. We can provide recommendations and consulting, but not much. What we specialize in networking, though, is the automation. Okay, using Python. Many ways of how you automate the networks. Okay, you can automate through what we call zero-touch provisioning. The best example is if I provide you, let's say, 20 or 50 network devices. The old way is if this is a new network device, new switch or new routers, the old way is you turn it on, you connect a cable to the console, you configure the basic settings, such as host name, management IP address, etc. Okay. And then you connect to the management network, and then you configure routing, access lists, and many stuff. So the process of configuring network devices is long. This is per device. If I give you like 20 or 50 network devices, how long it will take you to do that? You have to do this over and over again manually. Now, what we do is we have this design using Python scripts, using a Linux server, or once you turn on or power on your network device, it will boot, and at the same time, it will download a Python script and it will configure itself. So basically, it's an automated configuration using Python script, and it's too rare here in the Philippines. Not too many companies do that. Okay, it is very common in a very large data centers. For example, data centers of Facebook or /Meta, Netflix, the the cloud providers such as Google, AWS, and that's how they do it. Okay. Also, we use Python to push network configuration as well. Let's say we want to enable or create VLANs, routing, for example, we just run a script, and then this configuration will be pushed to 50, hundreds of switches. Again, not too common in a small to medium setup. It's more common in a very large scale environment.
Yeah. Mr. Valdez has a very good analogy for that. He said the old way is a lot of work. It feels like working with hammers. And the new way is basically using a machine to punch the hammers in. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. But again, it's still varies from your environment, because if you think about it, why would you want to use automation if you can do it manually, which is easier?
Yeah.
Right? If you're gonna automate, let's say 3 or 5 devices, which do you think is simpler and easier, the manual way or the automated way?
It's gonna be the manual.
It would be the manual.
Yeah.
It would be the manual. The reason why the manual is easier, because a typical network engineer doesn't know Python, right? So he will spend time to learn Python and the network APIs, which takes a lot, not just hours, but maybe days. Doing manual configuration for 2-3 devices will only take that maybe less than a minute. No, maybe I'm exaggerating. Less than 5 minutes for sure.
And also, I think in development, I guess you can automate things. I mean, you don't need to automate things that you're gonna use one time only, because
of course,
maybe it's just gonna take you to a sprint to do it. Then you'll just use it one time. That's
yeah, course.
Yeah.
If you're going to create an automation script, make sure you will do it over and over again. Because it doesn't make sense if you're going to spend hours creating this automation script and do it once only. Or even if you do it once, make sure that the time you create this script is less than doing the task manually. Yeah?
Yeah.
I totally agree with that.
Right.
Yeah, I have another question from this is unrelated to the topic we are talking about. From Jeff P. He said, "Hi Dean, what types of companies do you offer cybersec services?"
Well, actually, this is a good question because cybersecurity is very broad. Not too many people knows this, but it is huge, right? Even Python has a security feature. On the application side, we have SDLC, or the Security Development Lifecycle. We have a security framework, DevOps. We have DevSecOps, right? So cybersecurity is really huge. There's a network side, there's a governance side. Every application needs to be secure, not only web, DNS, database, and so forth. So what we specialize really is on the web side. So we do web application hacking / penetration testing. We also do the defense side, which is web application firewall. But again, that's what we specialize. That's the front line. I would say the typical VAPT, or vulnerability assessment, penetration testing, and the typical firewalls, VPNs, identity management, we also do that as well. Okay. But yeah, good question. That's what we specialize. We also do cloud security. So we are partnered with not only Fortinet and F5, which provides WAF. We also partnered with AWS and Google Cloud. So one part of the business is really securing cloud environment, specifically again with web application firewall. Okay. Or should I say, we specialize really in web application firewall. Because Google Cloud has WAF, AWS has WAF as well, right? And for those cloud administrators, something that they're not really familiar with, they build EC2, load balancer, many different features. But on the WAF side, I would say not too many people understand it and specialize on this area. Make sense?
Yep. That's including me. Yeah. Yeah. There's a follow-up question from I think that already, I mean, your answer already answers that. He said, given some companies are now migrating to the cloud, what's your approach on cloud network penetration?
There's a lot of penetration testing. So we call it VAPT. It's more generic, right? When we do VAPT, we have this questionnaire. We cannot do penetration testing if you don't tell us the details of your network or application to test. Okay. Part of the VAPT questionnaire also, if we're going to test just the wired network or your wireless as well, it's too broad. Okay. That's why we need questionnaire. With your question, cloud networking, it's good, it's okay. But again, not too many people knows this. The most important to penetration testing or to pen test is the website. The network side is okay. Especially if we're talking about malware, virus, it's all spreaded. But the most important is the website. And I can also say that network or cloud networking is not as vulnerable as our typical LAN setup, our typical office or data center environment, right? The reason why is because in cloud networking, the only way to get the hackers to get to the cloud or penetrate the cloud is via open or exposed applications such as web, credentials, maybe if he knows the credentials, some of the users. What else? That's it. Unlike in an enterprise environment, data center environment, there's wireless. What else? They can go to the office. Hackers can go to the office anytime in data center, like what you see in the TV. What else? USB, right? They can add malware in employees' USB as well, or many forms. Another is very popular is via email. They attach malware into a bogus email, something like that. So in cloud, those are not much applicable versus the traditional network and on-premise environment. Make sense?
Yeah, I actually agree with that somewhat because I actually have a friend that somewhat specializes in cloud security. And then I noticed, I guess based on what you were talking about earlier, I think there was more lower level complexity from what he's doing in terms of like handling multiple parts of the network and
Right.
I guess automation. Yeah. So yeah, very good to continue.
Yeah, and I guess one of the responsibility of the cloud service provider is security. They secure their data center physically. It's not your job, right? As a subscriber, you don't care what they do in their data centers. Okay, so the physical access, the server, the network, the storage devices, we don't care about it. The cloud service provider, their job is to secure the data center itself.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Actually, what you pointed out really makes sense. It's actually supposed to be their responsibility, not ours.
Yeah. And this is the reason why we promote security awareness. The most important real thing to secure is the web application. And again, going back, how do you secure it? There are many ways, but the most effective way is web application firewall. And again, not too many people specialize in web application firewall. Okay, and that's where we come in.
Yeah, that's very good to hear. Yeah. Yeah, I love all the things that you have said just now. I guess just to answer one more question, I guess, or a few more questions in our chat and in our Zoom. I think somebody asked as well. So I think it's Ismael, if I pronounce it right. So I think, sorry. I think she or he asked a bit about, I believe, a collection of whitelists versus blacklists. I think he is or she is actually pertaining about the tools that you presented earlier. Is it like mostly for whitelist tools or mostly for blacklist or I guess gray list kind of tools? Or what is the more bigger bear?
For WAF?
I guess for the tools that you showed at your work from home setup, is it mostly for whitelist or blacklist activities?
What do you mean?
I'm not actually sure a bit, but I guess it might also talk about how
Well,
well, okay. I'm not a bit sure how to answer that question. So maybe we can move
all right,
on.
here's what I can say. All I know about whitelist and blacklist is just a feature of most security appliances. WAF has a white and blacklist feature. Even an ordinary firewall has a whitelist and blacklist feature. It's just a very small feature of most security appliance. That's what I know about whitelist and blacklist.
I see. Cool. Yeah, I guess I'm actually not that familiar as well on the question. So
yeah, it's just a feature. It's just a feature. That's all I can say.
I see. That's good to know. I guess to answer one more question from our chat. So I think one of the audiences as well ask if as a cybersecurity expert or as a practitioner, what OS do you usually use for your activities as a cybersecurity expert? Is it preferably Linux, Windows, or is it CentOS or Kali Linux?
For penetration testing, we use Kali and Parrot OS. But that's on the penetration testing side. Here's the thing about those operating systems. Yeah, it's good for cybersecurity, for security, and not only for hacking, ethical hacking, but also for network analysis and cybersecurity analysis, incident response, etc. but I don't think you can use it for your day-to-day environment. Yeah, I use many operating system. I use like 5 different workstation. Yeah,
Oh,
it's a mix of everything. Yeah, it's a
oh,
mix of everything.
oh. So I guess if I may ask, I guess can you give us an example of more of those 5? Like, do you use the first one? Like, I get that you use Kali Linux for penetration testing, but for the other 4, is it usually for like the first one, Windows, or something for like the usual admin
Yeah, I
related
use
tasks?
because of this Surface, and I think I showed you the Surface Pro. I love it because of the stylus pen. It's very accurate, and me, I do a lot of whiteboarding session. Like if I talk about cybersecurity, network security, or just networking data center stuff like that, or Kubernetes, I use whiteboard a lot. And I'm an instructor. For those who are not familiar with me, I'm an instructor. I deliver over 60 courses, mix of everything. Yeah. And before pandemic, I used to travel the world, average of 10 flights in a month, deliver courses. And I used before the traditional whiteboard, but during pandemic, everything went virtual, right? Up to now, we're still doing training delivery virtually, remotely. So I do the training, the whiteboarding on my Microsoft Surface. Yeah. So that's why I use Windows OS a lot, especially for the training.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's very good to hear. So yeah, we're getting more context on what kind of setups and tools you're using on a daily basis. I guess Rx, do you have another
Yeah.
question or?
Yeah, I have another question from Mr. Valdez. This is from YouTube. He asked, "How do we practice learning security penetration?" Because
Good question. Well, I have a very diverse background. So my first job was application developer, right? After a couple of years, I moved to Linux. And before I moved to Linux, I started studying PHP and Python security. Okay, so when I was an application developer, I started studying application security. When I moved to Linux as a system administrator, I was also studying Linux security. Okay, but it only took me like 1 year. And then I moved to network, okay, like Cisco and F5. And when I was a network engineer, I also studied network security, which are firewalls, VPNs, etc. So being an application developer, Linux administrator, and network engineer with a mix of security, I was able to understand many different aspects of cybersecurity. Okay. And then after network engineer, I became instructor. It just so happened that my company, the training partner, is global, is international. So I had a chance, an opportunity to travel the world. Okay, and I lasted for 2 years on the first training company. What happened is after I left that company, I became what we call contractors. Contractors meaning you have a training company 1, training company 2, 3, etc. You are contracted with them. If your schedule is open, they will give you training. Basically, they will schedule you. It's like a freelancer, but you're contracted with companies. Now, with this kind of setup, you really have to work hard as a trainer. Why? Because they will only provide you schedule if you have good ratings, if you're doing well. Make sense? And the consequence is this: if you don't do well, you will not get training schedule, you will not get paid, and what will you eat? In short, you will die in hunger if you don't do well. So that's the idea. if you're not really that good, better off stay away from this job. And we're talking about competing with other trainers around the world. For example, at that time, 2013 to 2017, my coverage is more on Asia Pacific. So trainers are from a lot of in Australia, some are in India, 1 or 2 in Singapore, 1 or 2 in Malaysia, and 1 in Philippines. Okay, so 2013 to 2014, I'm doing okay, like 1 training a month, I would say. But 2015, that was the time that they give me a lot of training courses. And I was proud that I am getting more training courses or schedules more than the Indians and more than the Australians. So I was the busiest guy from this training company. And I was doing like training delivery to 2 or 3 companies. They always give me the schedule. I was the priority. That was until 2017. Late 2017, they realized, hey, this guy is getting a lot of good ratings. The students love him. Let's give him more courses in Europe and in the US. So technically, they paid me to fly to Europe and US and deliver courses. Interesting, right?
Wow, it's very cool actually.
Yeah. And you will get all of the perks, like 5-star hotel, airline of your choice. Sometimes you get sometimes you can do business class if there's a budget. What else? Your schedule is your schedule. If you're busy or if you don't feel like delivering training, that's okay. No one will force you. And I was also, by the way, 2018, was it? No, 2016. That was the first time I became an author, like a course author. So I was the course author of this cybersecurity solution. So what happened was, since you're the author, you have to deliver this worldwide because no one knows this better than you. Yeah. I became a course author maybe 4 times. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was no longer existing. Why? Because of the pandemic and the training business went down.
Yeah.
But
that's it.
but to be fair, 2020 and last year, the training business is okay. Everything is virtual, no more traveling. And problem is this year, training business slowed down.
Yeah, pandemic always has some form of rate
Yeah.
effect as well.
Yeah. I think the pandemic has a little effect on it because last year, training business is still good. We have worse pandemic back in 2020 and last year, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why I need to focus on my local company because I'm only getting like 1 training a month or once every 2 months. So I'm still a trainer. It's just that I cannot do what I do before. Like obviously I don't travel a lot, and traveling 10 flights a month is also crazy. I don't enjoy it. I don't know if someone will enjoy it. I travel like crazy shit. I travel to Australia, for example. I arrive Australia evening. I'll deliver a course the next day, and then after the training, I'll have to fly back to either Manila or Singapore or anywhere else. Yeah, there are also times that I have to go to what's that? South Korea. I arrived 4 a.m. in the morning. I slept like 2 hours or 3 hours in the hotel. I deliver a course like 8:30 a.m. in the morning. And after delivering this 1-day course, I have to fly back to Manila because I need to deliver another course the next day. Something like that.
That's crazy. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of stories behind this craziness. In the United States, it's actually worse because you have to drive from airport to the training location. deliver training, and then after the training, you have to drive to the airport. And if you've been in the US, the airport and most of the location is far, right? Unlike in Asia, specifically Southeast Asia, the airport is near the city where you deliver training, right? For example, NAIA is closer to Makati or BGC. But in the United States, the airport is not close to the business center, I would say. Right? But yeah, that was the trainer part.
Yeah, thank you for sharing to us about your training experiences and I guess the different journeys that you experienced throughout your career. I think we actually have a few questions about careers as well. Zorix, can you let us know?
Yeah. Jovan asked, how long have you been in the IT industry, Sir Dane?
I'm actually old, like super old. I'm already 60 years old. Yeah, so that would be 40 years. Is it not obvious, guys?
I'm actually not sure if that's.
No, seriously, I'm just kidding. 50 years old.
Oh wow!
Fair? 50 years old. Yeah. No, just kidding. Also. But I've been in the IT industry for a long, long time.
Yeah, I guess for people who are curious, at least that's I guess a rough estimate somewhere. But yeah.
Yeah. More than 15 years.
Oh.
Yeah, more than 15 years. But if you're gonna include college, because I've been working like a part-time freelance programmer back in college already, I can say more than 20 years. Yeah, not too many people do this, but during college, you can actually work as a freelance programmer. There's a lot of opportunities. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I put that on my resume. That's the reason why I got my first job. Right? Do that. If you're still in college, do a freelance programming, and after you graduate, put that in your resume as a freelance programmer.
Yeah, I think that's actually a totally agreeable thing. I actually did that a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good strategy. Seriously. You'll have more advantage, like 10 times a better advantage compared to your classmates who graduated with high grades. Even if you have low grades in college, you have an experience. Oh, I was a freelance programmer, or I was a freelance, I don't know, network administrator from a small office, whatever.
Cool. Yeah. So I think that's roughly, I guess, a good tip as well for our students who are here. That if they're curious, I guess, if they're curious how to improve their careers, either work as a freelance programmer or anything in relation to the field. Yeah,
and
I guess
just want to add the question about how did I learn cybersecurity? I just read. Cybersecurity, or the security aspect of, is available to any technology. Name a technology, there's a security behind it. Python, there's a security behind it. Web has a security behind it. Right? Network, many security elements. Okay? Docker, Kubernetes, there's a lot of security. Name any cloud service provider, there's a lot of security features. So if you already know the basic, just go on the sides, okay, and learn the security of this specific technology or this feature, etc.
Would you say that we should learn security the hard way? Because I think we are spoon-fed with the web frameworks right now, so we don't actually how can I say that? We don't actually usually think about how we set up our web applications.
So here's my question. As a web programmer, you don't understand web technologies like the headers, the HTTP
Yeah,
headers. You don't need to understand that anymore.
we still have to understand. 'Cause
All right.
we
So
have to.
yeah, there's a lot of security behind those
Yep.
HTTP request traffic.
Yep.
Yeah. Any questions about security or cybersecurity career, guys?
Yeah, I think we have, I guess, a question as well. Though I think it wasn't added to chat, but it was actually a prepared question from my friend actually. So I think you asked or talked about a little about reading, like if you want to learn security, how about just read, right? So I guess with that in mind, he actually asked me before this to ask you as well. Do you have any suggested books, I guess, for those who wants to get started to cybersecurity, or as you said, to learn cybersecurity through reading? Do you have any recommended books to read about cybersecurity for them to learn it?
All right. The best way to do it is go for certifications. First, you will learn a lot. Second, you will be certified. And once you're certified, you will have an advantage. That's it. And in my YouTube channel, I have a YouTube channel, by the way. It's called Styx Show, not your boring IT channel, because it's not really boring, unlike other IT channel out there. So I talk about a lot of IT certifications. I have a lot of top certifications, top network certifications, top cybersecurity certifications, switching from web developer to cybersecurity. There are many videos out there. And I would like you to check it out. For cybersecurity books, there's also a video about books that I'm currently reading, and those cybersecurity books I recommend. Yeah, I just can't talk mention everything. It's just too many, and it's already uploaded. Okay, it's already there. But
Just a
yeah,
quick-
best way to start is go for certifications.
Okay. Just a quick question about your YouTube channel. Why is Styx? Why is it called Styx? Do you have?
Oh, good question. All right, so back in 2018, so my company, my cybersecurity company, we decided to go for more startup vibe, right? If you
Oh.
say startup, not too many people knows this, but when you say startup, you're making our revolutionary, disruptive type of technology. And most of the time that is based on apps, right? So we were thinking of security app, like simulation. You can simulate malware, you can simulate many different attacks. So it's a lab environment. And we name it Styx Lab. The reason why it's called Styx, because Styx is a river from the Greek Greek mythology.
Yeah.
The story of the Styx River is when the gods go closer, or if they swim in the river, they lose their powers, or they don't become a god, something like that. So in short, they're vulnerable. So the gods become vulnerable if they go to the Styx River. Now, the Styx Security Lab is more of vulnerability testing. You simulate attacks, etc. That's why it's called Styx Security Lab. And then I just thought, we'll just use the security lab name, Styx Show. That's the story behind it.
That's cool. Maybe I think this will be our last question. It's from YouTube.
Yeah.
Another it is from Joben Closa. He said, "How does Python relate to cybersecurity? Can you give some more examples where you use Python in cybersecurity? And also, is Python the top language you will use mostly?"
All
That's the
right.
question.
My answer can be really long. We can talk about Python and cybersecurity the whole day, seriously. But quick answer is Python is really best for automation, for the penetration testing. If you do many different attacks, you can automate many things using Python. Okay, that's one. Second is any programming language, whether it's PHP, JavaScript, Python, if you know the programming language of your target application, it is advantage for the ethical hacker. You know if the script or the how the coding made is vulnerable or not. Does it make sense?
Yeah, that's why you need to hide your like stack trace or anything like
All
that
right. And there's also what we
relates to
call
that.
secure coding.
Yeah.
Not too many programmers knows this, but there are a lot of compliance, like security compliance on your codes.
Yeah.
And this is checked by many tools, many security software. It can also be checked by web application firewall and etc. So that's how Python relates to cybersecurity. Now, I can follow up. I have a video that's programming language for hackers. You can also check that out. Okay. Also, another thing. How do they create malware, by the way?
I guess I believe malware usually is just categorized as like automated or pre-programmed scripts
But how? But how?
by coding it. If I were to
Of
guess.
course. Exactly. They create this malware through codes. Can we use Python?
Yeah.
Obviously, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's
Absolutely.
another example. Make sense?
Yeah.
that makes sense.
All right. Another thing is I have a course. I do online courses also. I have a course named Python and Cybersecurity Web Attacks. You can check it out. Can I share the link, guys?
Sure.
Sure. Yeah.
Right. So I'll just share the link. I'm gonna share the link on both. Hold on.
Where did I guess if I may ask, where did you host this course? Is it like hosted somewhere or a specific platform?
Udemy.
Oh, it's in Udemy. Nice.
But it's better to visit my website because if you click the courses, automatically you'll get a discount. You can go to Udemy, but I cannot guarantee you discount. Also, as a Udemy instructor, this is how it works. If Udemy promoted your courses, you know how much they will pay you? If Udemy helped the marketing, like you bought the course through Udemy, you know how much they pay the instructor?
Yeah, I can't give, I guess, an exact number, but I guess
Like
somewhere at the
30%.
half.
No, like 30%, or
God.
even a little less. So if that's a $10 course, the instructor only get $3, right? But if you click the link, which is I already sent, I just sent the link to my website, the training website. If you click the link, that will take you to Udemy. Since I use my link and you've purchased my course, I will get like 97% because I'm the one who sell the course, right? You bought the course through me. I get 97%. But if you bought the course via Udemy or from Udemy website, they will only pay the instructor like 3%.
Yeah.
Not
that's
3%, excuse me, 30%, which is $3 if it's a $10 course.
Yeah, that's actually a very good thing to know. So
And that's why there are a lot of people doesn't want to host their courses in Udemy, because if you're not a superstar instructor, how much will you earn? And there's a lot of instructor there who earn $0 to $10 a month.
yeah, so I guess to support our wonderful course authors, get the link directly from them.
Yeah.
That's what we learned today. Yeah.
Yeah.
Someone actually asked.
So I have two
Oh,
Python courses. One is Python cybersecurity, web attacks, and one is Python for network engineers.
All right. So I guess that's something to catch out as well. So hopefully you share the link as well so that our audience can check out your course later.
Yeah, check it out, guys. So I already shared the link. It's zurian.com/training. So you will see all of my available courses. What do you have there? F5, which is a load balancer and application delivery controller. I have Python network engineers. I also have Docker and Kubernetes. I have again Python cybersecurity, web attacks, and many others. Yeah.
Right. Cool. So I guess actually, were you supposed to say something as well, Zorix? Can you continue
No.
with that?
No. I'm just saying that someone's asking for the links. I already pasted it in YouTube live. Yeah.
Cool. All right. So I guess
Oh wait, I just want to
sorry, go.
share. Since we're talking about Udemy and training, by next year, maybe around January or Feb, I'm going to create another course titled Secure Coding with Python. So basically, this is the best practices how to create code, Python codes. And there's a lot of like testing and I would say steps to make it secure. Okay? And it's one of the ways is through SDLC. Okay. And then I'm also in the process, currently in the process of creating a new course. Maybe next week I will publish it. It's all about web application firewall. So busy.
Yeah, so that's actually a lot of courses. So yeah, I guess for our audience from both platforms, you have a lot to check out about cybersecurity and other stuff.
Yeah. And like what I mentioned, I delivered over 60 courses. Cisco course. No, I delivered over 60 course titles. 40 plus are Cisco. Others are F5, Arista. I also deliver open source such as Python, Docker, Kubernetes. There's a lot, 60 plus courses. I can't even believe I delivered that many courses in my entire instructor career.
Cool. Yeah, hopefully that gives us, I guess, a good overview of a lot of what Dean is working on, and I guess a lot of the different cybersecurity fields that he's tackling. I guess Zorix, do you have any more words you would like to add or questions that you may like to help everyone? To answer to give Dean to answer.
Oops, I think it's all good in the YouTube chat.
Okay. Any questions about careers, guys? I can give you a lot of things, advice when it comes to career related questions and advice.
Yeah, I guess maybe our audience is a bit shy about it, but I guess do you have any I guess like at least a few questions, a few certificates that you might recommend that will be relevant for cybersecurity, or is that something they can also check out in a specific area or platform that you may recommend?
All right. Here's what I can say about certifications. Okay. Not too many YouTubers talk about this, but certifications has many levels. So my videos, I talk about certifications in multiple levels. There's an associate level, there's a mid professional level, and expert level. If you're new to cybersecurity, the best certification will be Security Plus or the F5CA. Yeah. Which you can also check from my videos. I keep mentioning F5CA and Security Plus. If you're new, again, there are multiple levels.
Right. Yeah, that's definitely, I guess, a good way to answer as well for some of our questions from our students who might be curious on what kind of certificate to tackle. So hopefully that's answered for them. Yeah.
And most of you are web developers, or at least developers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, check the video, web developer or switching web developer to cybersecurity. You know what? Let me just share to you. I think it's better that way. Let me just share to you the specific link. Hold on. I'm sure there's a lot of valuable videos here. Even the effective way of learning IT. I have a video. Like if you watch the video, guys, you will be smarter. And it's an effective way of learning IT.
Yeah.
So that is best programming language for hackers. This is switching from web development to cybersecurity. And here's the books, cybersecurity books. There. 3 videos related to cybersecurity and Python application, etc.
Right. So
Good.
yeah, hopefully that gives a lot of resources to explore as well for our students and other participants. But yeah, sadly, work from home Pythonista is a bit closing in at the time. So if you have any more questions for Dean, I guess, do you have like a specific email or platform that they may ask your questions as well?
You can follow me social media, at least the training page we have. So first, subscribe to YouTube, and I'm very active in responding to comments. Also, you can check our social media page. We're also active in replying. Here is the social media page. Hold on, please.
All right. Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, I think everybody can see that now. I guess for those who can see it via Zoom, I will share it as well for the YouTube section as well. So later we'll do that as well. Cool. But yeah, I guess just to reiterate, if you have any more questions for Dean, you may use these platforms as well. And then, yeah, thank you so much for answering our questions as well, Dean. So I guess actually before we go to any more parts of our work from home Pythonista, I guess we would like to ask as well, Dean, do you have any more announcements or questions that you may ask from, or sorry, do you have like any more announcements or things you would like to say to the participants? Like maybe talk more about or share info about your YouTube link or your YouTube channel a bit, and then maybe we can talk about the other stuff later.
There's a lot of videos in our YouTube, and seriously, valuable information from books to different career paths, certifications. I also compared for beginners, what do they need to learn? Is it Python, Linux, networking, and what is the best skills to be a cybersecurity professional? All of those are there, and I keep uploading and creating more contents. The good thing about YouTube and uploaded videos is you can watch it over and over again, or if you need to continue, for example, you're not done watching, you can continue it later or the next day, etc. So as much as I want to talk about everything I know, not everything, as much as I want to share things like career certification, cybersecurity, Python, etc., time is always limited, right? But yeah, please check the YouTube channel. A lot of valuable information in career, Python certifications. I also do some demonstrations. I demonstrate Cloud WAF like 2 weeks ago. I have a Cloud WAF video in AWS as well. And so there's a lot of valuable information that you will be learning. Okay.
Also,
Alright.
I would say that you're not only gonna get smarter, but you also be entertained with the Styx Show. Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's an entertainment channel as well. I think we're the only IT and entertainment channel in the world. Yeah, we combined those two. Don't ask me how we did it, but I think we did it okay.
Cool. So yeah, I guess if anyone wants to check out Dean's channel about a mix and combination of entertainment and IT, highly check it out as well. And then please check out all of the links that he shared in our chat. So yeah. I guess before we end, I would also like to share this as well as an opportunity for everyone. So as much as there are a lot of activities that you may tackle as well in cybersecurity, as shared by Dean, or the different courses that you may tackle in the chat. I will also like to use this as an opportunity to invite our audience and other watching this video to join and apply as a volunteer for PyCon APAC 22. So if you're interested to hear more about Python related stuff, or anything about Python related topics and workshops, highly consider joining as a volunteer. And we are also opening our proposals for PyCon APAC 22 this year as well. So I guess that's really all I can say. Do you have anything else you might want to add, Zorix, or share as well to us?
Well, first is not APAC, sorry. It's only it's only
Whoops.
PyCon Philippines, yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
but it's all good. Before we go, I would like to do some shout outs to our chat participants. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Valdez, Jeff P, Joban Cloza, who else? Robert Walson in the YouTube. Also Rodney, Mirasol, Ismael, Joven, and many more that didn't chat. So thank you for participating our work from home Pythonista episode. Yep.
So yeah, thank you very much, Dean, for joining us. And yeah, I think that's
All right.
roughly it for today. Yeah. So again, if you want to have more opportunity to check out the stuff that Dean shared in our chat, check out this YouTube channel. And that's probably all that we have for today. So again, thank you so much, Dean, and for all the participants for joining us. And yeah, see you again, if ever, in the next episode of Work From Home Pythonista.
Thanks for having
Thanks,
me, guys.
guys.
I'll
Thanks,
see you
thank you,
next
sir.
time.
Yep.
Yeah. Thank you
Thank
as well,
you.
Dean. Thank you, everyone. Happy
Bye,
weekend,
guys.
everyone.
Bye.
Have a great weekend.